We will start this webinar by singing our Wawasan Siti Warga UiTM song and doa recitation led by Muhammad Hafizuddin Devolan.
Bersatu kita warga UiTM, kita bangsa perkasa, taat dan setia untuk negara, betul semangat wajar. Kita jangan mudah terlupa pengorbanan perjuangan anak bangsa. Kita jangan mudah terleka kemajuan keamanan yang ada. Kita berterima kasih pada pemimpin-pemimpin negara. Kita rasa penuh bersyukur kerana dan kemuliaan darinya. Kamilah penyokong pewaris bangsa, kamilah pejalan bangsa Malaysia, kamilah warga berwawasan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'il mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, hanya padamu sahaja kami panjangkan kesyukuran dan atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Bersempena dengan program webinar pada hari ini, kami memohon inayah dan taufik-Mu, kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan kepada kami. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada kami supaya kami dapat mengisi ilmu dan pengetahuan yang berguna untuk agama, bangsa dan negara. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, kami mohon kepadamu agar Engkau berkatilah program webinar ini dengan limpah rahmat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjadikan program ini mendapat keredaan dan hidayah-Mu. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's webinar. My name is Nurhani Bejazali and with me is Maizatul Raziki Midharuddin. So, we'll be your moderators for today's webinar, which is Does Self-Protect Lead to Nature Neglect? Mai?
Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, staying at home. Alright, due to the pandemic outbreak, face covering or face masks are now a legal requirement in many public spaces around the world. However, masks were causing little issue on land and sea even before they became compulsory.
Yes, that's true. Despite millions of people being told to use face masks, little guidance has been given on how to dispose or recycle them safely. And as countries begin to lift lockdown restrictions, billions of masks will be needed each month globally. Without better disposal practices, an environmental disaster is looming.
As proof, many articles has been circulating about this issue affecting our nature.
With that being said, we have invited two special guests who is specialized in today's topic. First, we have Miss Nur Suryani binti Saleh, who works as a Social Research Officer at the Forest Research Institute Malaysia, also known as FRIM. She has been working there for 9 years now. Miss Suryani holds a bachelor's degree in Park and Amenity Management and also a master's degree in Environment back in University Putra Malaysia. Plus, she was a lecturer for PNG 558 Park and Conservation Law for last semester, and her teaching method was very interesting. Hi, Miss Suryani. It's nice to see you again.
Hi,
How are you feeling today?
I'm fine, Alhamdulillah. How are you, honey?
Good, good. It's nice to see you again. Alhamdulillah.
Good.
All right, next, our second guest is Mr. Habibur Najar bin Zainal Abidin, a conservation officer of Malaysian Nature Society, MNS, who is responsible in overseeing and implementing the management and sustainability plan for mangrove rehabilitation. Mr. Habibun here has a total of 5 years experience in mangrove programs and also 4 years experience in the wildlife. Plus, he has a bachelor's degree in park and amenity management and is currently doing his master's in ecology, specifically in Tapir. Hello, Mr. Habibun. How are you feeling today? Mr. Habibun,
Hi, good. Thanks for inviting me.
good to know. Okay, so what's special about these two guests is that they are both our alumni. All right, without further delay, we would like to invite Miss Nur Suryani to share her opinion on today's topic. Miss Su?
Okay, thank you, honey. Thank you, our beautiful two moderators. So I will
Welcome.
share my screen now.
Mm.
So is the screen clear? Can someone please reply me whether you can see the slides or not?
All right, okay.
Okay. So I was given a topic entitled "The Effects of COVID-19 Pandemics Towards Nature Parks" by the Secretariat. Thank you for inviting me once again. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nur Suryani Saleh. I am from Ecotourism and Urban Forestry Program from Forest Research Institute Malaysia. So I'm also one of the members of My Parks Malaysia. It's an non-government organization together with the UiTM Shah Alam, University Putra Malaysia, FRIM, Perbadanan Putrajaya. We also have a very great persons who's under this NGO, so called My Parks Malaysia. So let's talk about film situation currently during this MCO. So we have closed since last year, since our first MCO, March 2020. And at during August, we opened certain facilities, which is Forest Skywalk and also KBG. That one was led by Dr. Azlin Yahya and also Encik Wana Fizul and the staff. So why we open certain facilities but not but not the whole frame? Because simply because we can control the number of visitors. You see that the systems are working at Forest Skywalk led by the Encik Wan Nafizul. They have a very systematic numbers in people are queuing, and so we actually monitor the distancing between one group to another group. Yes, we can control the number of visitors. That's why we open that particular area. So, but other facilities such as nature trails, jogging, cycling, hiking, and camping, unfortunately, we are still closed. That are all those recreation activities. And because back in 2014, Prim wants to receive visitors almost 1 million. So we have to be in control. We have to be in a position that we can control the visitors. But I can see that nowadays people are actually moving towards the nature appreciation because maybe perhaps of the travel restriction,
Mm.
interstate travel restriction, and so on and so forth. So is this? I don't know whether this is a blessing or a curse due to the pandemic. We take a look at this from the positive side, yeah.
Mm.
So let's move to the slide. Okay, let's recap on this current Malaysian situations. We are in our second MCO for certain states from 14 January to 26. We are hopefully that we are these 2 weeks are enough for us to flatten the curve. And then the highest number of cases unfortunately hit four of the states who is most highly populated: Selangor,
Mm.
Sabah, Kuala Lumpur, and Johor. So currently we extend our MCO to our state, Kelantan also. And when it comes to the public parks, some are still closed, but for example, the public parks under the BKL we are still open and can do some activities like jogging and cycling, but it is only limited to maybe 2 to 3 persons, if I'm not mistaken. And then let's take a look at the theme parks situation. Yes, we have lost $1 billion, and also let alone the job losers among the staff. And this is very worried. This is only happened in 2020. So we hopefully that in 2021 there is some better improved situation that we can actually upgrade our amusement theme park and try to have some revenue backs or profits. So that I mentioned, nowadays more people are now looking to outdoor recreation to become a nature lover, gardening, also urban farming. It was viral with an indoor plant, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mm.
people nowadays are looking into this kind of activities, which is a great. I'm not saying that pandemic is a great thing, but which is in nature parks, this is great things.
Mm.
So allow me to take a look at this post from Facebook, which I cannot rename the person. He claimed that why we cannot open certain activities in frame, why we open certain activities in frame. So let's look at this. Basikal senyap je dalam hutan, basikal tak keluar asap pun, basikal tak rosakkan tanah pun, basikal tak koyakkan akar pun. Yes, it's correct. But we have some ecological impact. Like there have been some paper published by Dr. Azin and Cik Wanafizul, and we deal with it with cycling and mountain biking. It causes soil compaction, and it actually disturbing the vegetation along existing, let alone the erosion. So
Mm.
that's why not this time we let nature heals. Okay, so I actually attracted to you guys background of poster. You use this markup holding the straps of face mask, right? So
Yes.
let's look at the situation number 2. The markup at Bukit Melawati is harassing the residential area. So
Mm.
this is like a revenge, I would say, between or this is a consequences that we have to face just because of
Mm.
our activities. So if you can see that the picture number 2, this is because we are feeding the animals. It is supposed not to be fed at all.
Yes.
So this has happened. They are actually get used to receive food from us, and then like suddenly we are in MCO situation. We cannot go out. They are actually looking for food because they
Mm.
are comfortable with that kind of
Yes,
situation. This
that's
is
true.
why feeding animals give more harms than more good. Okay.
Mm.
So at this, the number one picture also affect the wildlife due to our
Lack
just
of moral
our
value.
yes. So this is what happened, and I urge you guys to please take a look at what is really happening. Is it because of us, or in any ways we are the one who's affecting,
Yes.
right? Okay, so by looking at the current announcement by our Prime Minister, he said that the isolation for a long period of time can put pressure on mental health. So with this, we open public parks. So that's why we open public parks, and they can see through that. They can relieve their stress. They can get some
Mm.
fresh air. This is actually contributes to the health benefits. This is which is good.
Mm.
Okay, let's take a look at the effects of COVID-19 towards nature park. I would say that there is some positive impact, also there is some negative impact. So I listed around 6 that I can actually come out with. So number 1 is of course declining in revenues, budget, and also staff. By taking example like in Kuala Gula, Perak, there have been if a community-based conservation areas that provide incomes to the local community. They are the local community plant some mangrove and doing some maintenance. So this is actually affecting them. Let alone the staff, the park staff. Also, they have to use some certain equipment. They have to check the temperature. So it costs more work, and also they have to be in the precautions. Once they go out and work, they're always in a precautions. Okay, so let's move to the number of park visitors decrease. So this is happened because of the lockdown and because of the travel restriction and because of the interstate restriction. So we can see that number of park visitors slightly decreased, and this is definitely affect the profits caused by the profits gained from the entrance fees, what else from the program run. So this is one of the effect of COVID-19 towards nature park. So I can see, but in some positive way, we are actually in a long-term recovery. But this is very too early to predict this. We still have some data to monitor and some papers to write on. So I would urge you guys to please read from time to time. Maybe I was wrong. So actually, from this recovery, we can actually strengthen the relationship between people and also wildlife and also nature. So we let the nature heals from this period while so that after the nature heal, we will use the proper on healed nature. So this is part of the long-term recovery. So there has been a suggestion. This is internationally. They want to end the commercial trade and also sales in market since this pandemic caused by they are selling some exotic animals.
Exotic animals.
Yeah, so there have been some suggestion to end this commercial trade. So, but I don't know how. But still don't know what is the latest news about that. Let's hope that we can finally end the commercial trade and also the sale in markets. So I would like to stress this now. Point number 4, which is resource management impact. This is we are all in Selangor facing this resource management impact from our water disruption, right? We have been in problem with water
In
distractions
water,
in
yes.
right for 2 times, is
I
it?
think more than that. I think
Oh,
more than that.
yes, this is what we call it as a resource management impact. The staff are actually an in enforcement. They limit their movement outside. So I'm not saying that this is good or this is bad. I'm not the one who can say that whether this is good or this is bad, but this is happened because of the MCO. Maybe they limit themselves to do some enforcement. So that's why, and from the factory people also, they have no choice but to dump everywhere just to settle their own problems and then leave it to the others to have their own problems without thinking about the consequences from their behavior. So this is the resource management impact that I think all of us are actually facing that.
True.
And the second last one is increased human reliance on park. Let's say that nowadays people are actually become a new nature lover. They claim themselves as a nature lover. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
So this COVID-19 actually changed people's perspective towards, okay, nature can actually reduce stress. Nature can bring us peace and quiet. So this is good actually. Kan?
And it all started with the home plan. The home
So
plan.
exactly. Do some urban farming, so do some jogging around neighborhoods, so like suddenly neighborhood parks. So we are actually using nature to cope with our physical and mentally challenge from the COVID-19 pandemics. You know, with the travel restriction, with the social distancing, business and school closure, it's really stressing. So thank God that we have enough our public parks, protected areas, conservation areas. So lastly, we nature to heals. This is one of the positive. We let nature to heals. Our air quality have improved because we have less transportation. But I would like to stress that this is still a long way to go. Just
Yes.
one year skip from less transportation is not going to make the air become better for a very long time.
Yes. It's not
But
gonna keep the ozone layer thinner any thinner Like
Yes,
it will keep
definitely.
on it will keep on thinning, but it will not
True.
recover. Yes.
Betul. So, but still, pollution still happen. It's still one of the anthropogenic situation happening in Malaysia. So,
Mm.
let's think. Let's think again on how we want nature to heal. Okay, so last yes, we can still use park, but we have to visit parks. I would urge you guys to visit parks that are very close to our home, and you, if you can see that the park is crowded, please avoid that. And you can do any other activities that still make you feel fit, and also please stay on trails and practicing on social distancing between a group to another group, and please wear a face mask. Sometimes people are actually facing difficulty in breathing while you're jogging and you're using a face mask. I face that kind of difficulties. I once
Mm.
jogged and I wear a face mask, I cannot breathe properly. So I try to take it off, but I distance myself from another person
And
lah. So follow the park guidelines, and if you see the park staff, please thank them. I think in this moment we have to be positive towards each other. And this is the, I would like to use this guideline from Jabatan Landscape Negara. They have come out with the guidelines before you go to the recreational parks, during and also after. Like for example, you have to wear appropriate clothes, you have to wear a face mask, you have to make sure that you bring your own sanitizer, you bring your own personal tools and others.
mm-hmm.
What happened during, you have to make sure the current safe between 1 to 2 meters. And what happened after you went to the recreational park, you have to make sure wash your hands and
Mm-hmm.
disinfect all the foods that you brought. So these are the guidelines that we are actually looking for, and good job Jabatan Landscape Negara because coming with these guidelines. So I would like to quote from our Madam President My Parks, Dr. Nur Azlin Yahya, when she presented this to the World 2020 Park Congress this last year. Yes, nature heals
Mm.
people, but nature needs to heal too. Nature needs to be healed too.
Uh,
So can we use this hashtag parks to heal, and then when we have a healthy parks, this can have some healing capabilities to the human too. So with that, I thank you.
all right. Thank you very much, Miss Rani. That was really an eye opener, especially when you um divide it into positive impact and negative impact. So like we have the decline in revenues, the resource management impact, and also how nature and public park is more appreciated. So audience, don't forget to use the hashtag that Miss Rani um
Parks to
just
heal.
yes, parks to heal, yes. Because nature people needs to heal, but also nature. Nature needs
Yes.
to heal first. All right. Thank you very much. And also for the interesting slide. All right. So okay, moving on to our second guest, I would like to invite Mr. Habibun to share his own opinion on today's topic as well. Mr. Habibun, the floor is yours. You can share your slide now. All right, let's give him a few seconds. All right, let's wait for a few moments. Just having technical difficulties.
Test.
Yes. Mr. Habibin?
Saya terlepas saya terlepas mana-mana ke?
Alright.
Saya tak dapat connection tadi. Lost connection sekejap.
Tak apa.
Suara
Okay. Encik Habibin boleh share slide lah.
sekali lagi. Tadi tak dengar. Ya.
Boleh Encik Habibin share slide sekarang? Boleh ke? Share slide.
Oh, okey. Dah, okey. Boleh. Eh. Okey. Screen. Loading.
Alright, tak apa. Sementara kita tunggu Encik Habibin. I would like to ask everyone, are you guys enjoying this talk? Are you guys enjoying this webinar? Do you get any new information? Do follow our Instagram right at the bottom of the screen. It's PEMCITM SE. Do follow it. Oh, everyone's going wild saying yes. Very interesting topic. Thank you to Miss Riani. Oh, Miss Riani, I would like to say a few words.
Okay.
I was actually very excited to visit the sky.
Forest
That
Skywalk
sky.
yang
Boleh dengar?
Yes. Ah, boleh dengar, boleh dengar. Dah boleh ke?
Sharing.
Sharing. Dah sharing? Dah share ke? Nampaknya Cik Habibin still ada masalah lain je. Kita tunggu sebentar. Alright, Mister, coming back to you. Let's talk for a bit. Yes, forest. What was it again?
Forest Skywalk, you mean? Our
Yes,
new
Forest Skywalk.
outlet.
Because I was interested to go there until the lockdown. I mean NCO.
Yes. Hopefully that after this MCO thing will open the Forest Skywalk, you guys should visit the Skywalk. It was led by This project was led by Dr. Noor Azumia here together with Encik
Mm.
Wan Hafizul team. So they
Mm.
built the forest skywalk from scratch, of course lah, with the help from the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
So it was come from the idea of film itself. So please come and support
Ah,
our tourism areas.
because it's very unusual because it uses different material from
True.
still, yeah. You usually see like the canopy walk, such as like in Cal Forest Eco Park, but this one
Yes.
is a bit different
Yes. This is a little bit different. If I'm not mistaken, it was built from the aluminium type of material.
material.
Yes.
Ah,
Okay.
alright.
Hello. Okay tak okay?
Hello. Okay,
Okay. Laptop problem. So, saya guna
no
telefon.
worries. It's
So, saya
okay.
tak boleh share the screen. But I will show by the camera of from phone to the laptop lah. Kan?
Oh,
It's
it's
okay, no
alright.
problem.
No problem.
Okay.
Sekejap.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sorry sangat-sangat. Line tak pun nak bagus.
Okay, tak apa.
Okay. So, saya boleh start?
Boleh
Boleh.
Encik Habibin. You can start
Okay,
now.
alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks Nurhani, Mazatul as a moderator, and then thanks to PAMS for inviting me to give a talk lah. So basically, I've given the topic that the effect of COVID-19 pandemic towards natural heritage.
Mm.
Uh, so it's more, the topic is more general about the impact towards the nature lah during this PKP, MCO lockdown all over the world lah. So I will share a very general topic, very general informative information, and very general knowledge that I know that I can share lah. So how to wait, okay, boleh nampak kot?
Alright. Boleh, boleh.
Alright. So as mentioned by Puan Suryani tadi, very it's almost the same lah. So we all affected by the COVID-19, and then that was recorded during if I'm not mistaken, December 2019. That's why the name of the COVID-19 is COVID 2019, not
COVID-19.
20. But all is happened, all the lockdown, MCO apa semua during 2020. So as we know, so there is no scientific evidence, yes, but uh, they said the COVID-19 is from animal, which is
Mm.
last time was bats, and some said snake also.
Dogs or snakes.
Yes. So again, back to nature and wildlife lah. So
Mm.
there is lots of effect we can see during last year.
Mm.
I will share you some of the positive effect of COVID-19 on the environment. According to my Virta 2020, approximately 40% reduction in average level of nitric dioxide and has been achieved with coronavirus fighting measure recently, which is PKP, lockdown, all the things lah. And then 10% reduction of pollution of particulate matter, which is debris, all plastics, apa nama, sampah sarap lah, especially at beach area, and especially at tourism area also. So
Mm.
this also has result in reduction of 11,000 deaths caused by air pollution, which mean I would like to share here is 91% of global population living in a poor air quality. So based on that, based on a death record in the world, 60%, 16% of global death is because of pollution, and 8% of the it is from air pollution,
Mm.
which mean uh, as we can see, air pollution can cause lots of damage to human lah. And the good thing when we do this lockdown, PKP, MCO ni, the decrease in air pollution level is decreasing a lot lah. So based on
Mm.
uh, Sinar, wait, reported on April 2020, they said IPU index in Malaysia reduced up to 30%. Some place like Kuantan, Kemaman, Terengganu, and Perak it reduced below 50. Dia punya bacaan 50 lah, which mean
Mm.
the air is very good. So this is a good thing that you can get from this apa nama uh, PKP lockdown ni lah. Okay.
Mm.
So another positive impact is environmental noise pollution reduction. So as we know, semua orang tak keluar, so that uh, apa nama kenderaan kurang, very sunyi. KL is very nice place to stay, at least, at last I think.
Mm.
Sebab banyak sangat jam semua tu. And
Yes.
then kilang-kilang also all stop, not all but reduce
Lesser.
work less, so that the noise pollution can reduce, which
Mm.
mean can give a good impact to nature, to apa nama to untuk baik pulih lah. Sebab
Mm. Yes.
because of as we can see, noise can affect the animals towards the apa close to the area lah, certain area.
Mm.
So contoh when we go to nature park, when we go
Mm.
to in the forest, especially when we go with 10 or 20 people, and we make noise, most probably all the wildlife nearby there will go, and uh, akan lari lah, akan apa nama, dia akan menjauhkan diri from the noise. So the good effect is we reduce the noise, and then we can see some animal get into the apa nama into the town already.
Mm.
And next is immaculate beaches, which is pantai yang rapi, and then
Mhm.
there is no people nearby, and then
Mm.
less pollution, less sampah sarap nearby beaches, which is we know most of the rubbish are at beach area. Animals on the street, apa nama, we last year, if I'm not mistaken, May 2020, there was a tapir walk around in Negeri Sembilan area during PKP lah, because of the PKP, so tak
Mm.
ada orang, and then the animal is going out already, which is, I can say, positive or negative. Let's see.
Negative.
Let's
Yeah.
see next. So I will show you some of the photo. Maybe you guys also know. So this is a Sungai Melaka
Mm.
photo. This is Sungai Melaka also during the tour. It's before PKP lah. All these photo I took from Google. Apa nama, air dia is not very good condition,
Mm.
but this one is very good one, which is cure by itself lah. And April 2020, there are dolphin reported at Port Dickson punya pantai also, which
Oh.
is good also because they return back. Last time dulu memang the dolphin is there already, but since so many people, there is tourism attraction area, and then all the fish is go away. And then after, when during this PKP, maybe the dolphin apa nama uh, pass by or something, so they just get close lah. And then because as there is no people, uh, the apa nama the animals coming back, which is good for the environment. And this is from Google also. Outside apa nama another country, so there's animal on the street, and then we can see uh, many animals coming out from the forest. And then during the PKP,
Mm.
uh, we Zoo Taiping announced apa nama report that milky stork, which is endangered species of bird, uh, apa nama nesting in the zoo. In fact, outside of the zoo also they are nesting nearby. So which is this is a very endangered species and protected. Uh, but during this PKP, there's less people, less noise, less pollution, and then they comfort with the nature surrounding, and then they get the the nest lah, which is a good sign for one good indicator that shows that the nature is healing. This is the picture in the Zoo Taiping. As you can
Mm.
see, dots yang gelap-gelap tu is a nest lah. Dia dah buat sarang.
Um,
Milky stock is very endemic to Malaysia, especially in Kuala Gula last time, but now I think no more. So it's a endangered species need to be protected. So negative effect of COVID-19 on environment also tak kurang sikit, tak kurang banyaknya. So there
yeah.
is a misperception that nature is getting a break from humans during the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead, many rural areas uh, in tropic are facing increased pressure from land grabbing, deforestation, illegal mining, and wildlife poaching. This is I took from conservation.org internet. So they said uh, the effect, as we all know, COVID-19 and the effect to the global economy, which is banyak orang apa lose job, and apa nama yang tak dapat makan, and then yalah, so many things happen economy, and then banyak negara facing a bad economy. So that is a one everybody knows that the impact of COVID-19 lah. So another thing is impact on biodiversity, which is as mentioned by Puan Suryani in the slide. One of the thing that we can see is the macaque
Mm.
go out apa,
And
from
attack the
their
people.
attack the people, and then they didn't get the food.
Mm.
And then the reason is because we always giving them food,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a good practice
Mm.
to any animal actually, unless the domestic one lah, cat, dog is no problem lah. But this is a wildlife. This wildlife animal, we cannot treat them like a domestic one. So
Mm.
once they got the change, their behavior is changed already, so they cannot survive. They cannot find any their own
Mm.
food, and then they're chasing people to get the food lah, because they know people got food.
Because they depend on people right now.
Yeah,
They are used to it.
depends on
Okay.
people. So and then they change the diet also. actually there is a forest. For example, I take example at Bukit Melawati in Kuala Selangor. There's a mangrove forest. There's lots of food for monkeys there, but their behavior already changed, and then their diet also changed, and then they cannot eat that. They don't want it because they already taste all the nice fruits, roti, sometimes pizza ke curry puff ke. So
Mm.
they cannot eat that all the leaf already. So they change lah. When it comes to PKP, the negative effect is apa nama, bring damage to human also, because
Mm.
they come to our place and then destroy all the things lah. They want to
Mhm.
find the food. Other thing is waste management. Mentioned by Puan Surani also, apa nama, uh, apa nama,
Our water
uh,
resource
mask,
management.
face mask is through everywhere, and then uh, apa nama, not just uh, apa nama, bila tengah PKP and then the nature is healing, but we cannot uh, see it. Oh, nature can do everything by its own. No, because it's still human around, and then we can
Mm.
see during this PKP, PKPB apa semua ni, still got pollution in sungai near in Selangor also, caused by human. So we need to monitor all these people, so that river also sekarang dah polluted, and then effect lagilah ramai dekat kawasan Selangor tu, and then work from home, but apa nama, air tak ada, lagilah susah.
Mhm.
So this is a waste management lah, so we need to monitor. Sometimes because of difficulty of doing work to throw anything, maybe they some of the company they took easy and then throw away in the river ke, we don't know, but uh, we need to monitor this lah, waste management. So this is negative impact, negative effect of COVID-19 on the environment. Uh, so this is India. I took from Google Global News and India. So the monkeys is going out to find the food. Dia dah conquer the street lah. So nanti jadi uh, apa nama, harmful to human also. This is a attitude. Back again is attitude of people uh, throw their face masks everywhere, which is akan menyebabkan we have a new rubbish already. Okay, this is another photo of face masks. And then they said, I quote, this person said, most of the face mask is from not from this beach. It's coming from other area, which mean the face mask is hanyut to the pantai lah.
Uh,
So uh, alamak ni saya tak habis tulis, tapi tak apalah. So langkah-langkah things that we can take if everything is normal again. So and then we need to keep the nature is healing back. So we need to one is kekalkan kebersihan lah. We make sure our cleanliness is always in good condition, and then we give apa, rest time to our nature. I took example in Indonesia, in Bali. They
mm.
have this kind of concept, nyepi. They said is the one day they don't, there is a hari cuti, and then they do nothing at all. All the shop is closed, all the apa nama, kilang, all the factories is
Stop.
closed,
Mhm.
and then all people stay at home, not going outside at all. So this one day is they they just take they just want to give a rest for the for the environment. So which is good for environment, and then maybe we can practice that also. And as a MNS, I'm from MNS. I forgot to mention just now. I'm from MNS. One of the way is I would like to promote of you, all of the student or whoever to join
Mhm.
MNS, Malaysian Nature Society, which is a membership base to become our member and to support in environmental and conservation work in Malaysia, especially. I think that's all from me.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Habibun. So wow, that it's interesting to know that there was a site of dolphin in the Port Dickson Sea. Yeah, I agree what you said just now. That pandemic giving negative effect to us indeed, but also giving good impact to nature. Seeing you show the picture of dolphins, bird nests, and so on make me so excited and curious on what will happen to our nature and animals in the future. You know, when the pandemic is over, are they still in a good condition? So that is playing in my mind right now. So, however, that is really informative sharing. Thank you, Mr. Habibus, once again. I hope that audience would find it the sharing beneficial for you guys, especially for our PAM student. Now that our both panel have shared their opinion, let's move on to the Q&A session. We will go ahead and take some time for the question now. Just a reminder, audience can just type in your question at the comment section below. All right. We have a few questions here, both for Ms. Riani and Mr. Habibun. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. First question here is for Ms. Riani. All right. As we mentioned before, regarding the issue of improper face mask disposal that leads to nature neglect, even myself recently seen with my own eyes, these face masks thrown away to the places that they are not supposed to. Therefore, from your perspective, what are the actual reasons that encourage these people to act this way? Ms.
To
Riani?
improperly dispose the face mask, you mean?
They dispose this face mask that use face mask in improper places that
So
is
you
not
think that
suitable places.
sorry, so you think that that is the only pollutants that we improperly throw? I don't think so. We
Yeah.
have a lot of ways that we are improperly throw, like solid
Mm-hmm.
waste, liquid waste, and this
Yes.
is one of the new type of pollutants. We call it surgical mask or face mask. So
Yes,
these,
that's true.
um, I'm not saying because of the moral value. It's not nice to see to say people like that. I think because of the fail to understand. You know, we if we fail to understand the importance of properly impose certain type of waste, this is face mask is considered as a clinical waste.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we deal with the clinical waste, they have certain procedure that we have to follow. So because of the virus on the mask and everything and so on and so forth, and this is, pandemic is unprecedented. We never faced this kind of situation before, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
like in 15 years back, we never faced this kind of precedented with this kinds of pandemic. So I would say because we fail to understand on how we should properly throw on how we properly manage our waste. So this is we people are still adjusting to this new norm. So I think because of that, we and the government should actually resolve this by maybe promotes on how I think there is some promotes on how to we properly dispose the face mask. And can you imagine, for example, like me myself, I use surgical mask for 1 day times with 30 days. So per month, I use 30 use face mask times with
Mm-hmm.
times 12 months. Then for a year, I use 360 masks. So you do the math. you calculate with the 32 million population of Malaysians. This is only happened in Malaysia. So we have to start now. We have to properly use for me and right now I'm using a fabric type of mask. I'm having a difficulty in breathing using the fabric mask, but I'm still looking for a suitable fabric mask. I actually try to minimize the use of surgical face mask. So my answer is that maybe they fail to understand on how to properly impose face mask. Thank you.
Oh, okay, that's right. I agree with you, Miss Riani. So let's move to the next question, which is for Mr. Habibun. Okay, Mr. Habibun. During this pandemic, there are some SOP that has been set by government for us to do any activities or programs. Therefore, as a person in this nature conservation industry, what type of program that you might like to propose, especially during this MCO without breaking the SOP, but at the same time still could give good outcomes to the participants?
Uh, Good question. So basically, it's about SOP. So we heard every day the government always said about the SOP. Need to follow the SOP, all the things. In fact, in the companies, all even university, UITM also came up with their own, I think, SOP also. And then the company like my NGO also came up with the mitigation and the SOP to follow in order to avoid this virus to be spreaded. So for in conservation point of view, so basically we are okay, and then we just follow, and then uh, apa nama, we still hope that uh, kelonggaran or what you call it, kelonggaran lah, to maybe we are not essential businesses, but there are not many people doing a conservation work in Malaysia, and especially in the field. So we hope that we can proceed with to do the surveys, to do the conservation work in apa nama, in the field. So I just like to propose that uh, minimum people, and then I agree with the minimum people going to the forest area so that we can reduce the impact towards nature, which is especially in the apa and the nature yang bukan tourism based lah. So kalau tourism based, totally understand that they need people, and then their income also depends on the participant. So for me, I would like uh, to propose the program yang very strict, follow the SOP and reduce the people towards the apa nama enter the nature area. Jawab soalan.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Habibun. That's interesting. Yeah, any program if we want to do, we have to SOP first. We have to do the SOP first, of course. So yeah, okay, we move on to the next question. But this time it's come from our audience. So let's look at one of the question. So the first question come from Zulyuin. So Zulkarnain. So so he asks about what will be the probable impact of COVID-19 on parks and recreation agencies such as MNS? So I think either of you can answer this question.
I leave it to Mr.
So
Habibun.
I think
Yeah,
it's for because it's mentioned
for yeah,
MNS there. So just want to know what will be the probable impact of COVID-19 on park and recreation agencies. Uh, what will be the probable impact? of COVID-19 and park and recreation agencies such as MNS. So nak kata impact, everybody impact by this COVID-19 lah, especially. And for your information also, kita ada satu nature education center in Frame, and then now Frame is closed and our staff cannot get in to the Frame. We totally understand about that, but it's effect because we already plan a years of planning, and then we have a regular yearly program to the kids, to the especially to the students lah, but now cannot anymore. So the impact to us is yeah, we cannot proceed to apa nama, to give awareness to the student lah. And then we now we move on to the apa nama, apa, virtual concept like right now. And then and most probably if related to park and recreation, some place in MNS we have centers in Kuala Selangor Nature Park and Eco Care Environmental Education Center in Terengganu. So all this center very much impacted by the COVID lah, because we got less of participant, and our affect our income. Hope
All
answer
right,
the question.
all right. Thank you, Miss Habibun. So how about we take another one question from the audience? Okay. Okay, this is come from Sarah Sofina. How the current situation at the frame now during this pandemic, is it has a changing environment of the nature in a frame? So I think this question special to Miss Riani. So yeah.
Okay. You mean what is happening according to the in nature, in frame itself?
Mhm.
I think it's healing. It's still too early to tell because it's just a year. So vegetation needs time to grow back. So the soil compactions, everything. So, but I think it's getting better. And nowadays, the air quality in film also since before we control the number of transports enter the film. So with the limitation of the parking area and everything. So I think it's just the same, but it's getting better. So
Okay, thank you, Miss Riani. So I hope the student would take note on what they are saying, the answer of the questions. So for the last question, do you guys have any words or advice that you would like to share to all the audience regarding the issue that we have discussed today?
I think I should start first.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
my personal advice is that I have two suggestions. Number one is try to use the washable fabric mask. Use the 3-ply one, and try to look for the. If you will say that you have to come up with every day, try to have a 7 type of fabric mask. We have a very different types, a very attractive one, the batik type, black, gray. You just name it, you got it. So with this, we can try to at least minimize the disposal of face masks. At least we try. And number two is the hand sanitizer. You try to buy the big bottle sanitizer one and the small big bottle sanitizer. And then if there is and you just have to refill. You don't have to buy so many bottles, and you can just use it on your own. And then outside, if there is, we can see that at any shop they already prepare the sanitizer. So that at least we can try to minimize these waste that come from this pandemic. That's all.
Uh,
Okay, Mr. Habibun.
okay. Mm, from my suggestion is just manage your waste, and then take good care of our environment. Manage your waste means be responsible with anything from you. I mean, like any waste, not just a face mask. Is about everything. Just kertas ke, even the food. We know food is biodegradable waste, but it's not simply that you can throw food anywhere. It will harm the environment. It will harm the wildlife also if wildlife go and eat. So manage your waste. Throw it properly at their place. For example, face mask is a clinical apa nama waste. So the best is to throw it or to give to apa nama clinic ke hospital ke, or the worst case is just throw in the proper rubbish bin lah. And then food waste, do compost, apa nama baja kompos ke ataupun throw it properly, and then practice recycle. That is for environment. Good for environment. We which have been we have been taught since our apa nama kecil lagi, kita dah diajar benda macam ni. So we just need to practice. And other thing is take a look at environment, and especially in the wildlife. Look at the different things that happen in our surrounding environment, especially in the. I just give one thing to see, just the birds. Look at the birds and then observe and then see what is the different happen surrounding us lah. So because now we are doing a apa nama survey for migration birds. As you can see, you just stay outside and then look up. Sometimes there is a raptors, uh, uh, open bill stork fly around. So but this is not many people dia tak perasan benda ni. So look at surrounding and then look at the nature and then appreciate the nature lah. And then lastly, again, I would like to promote apa nama to become a MNS members, so that we can together voice up and then protect, especially an environmental issue in Malaysia. And again, sorry for the interrupt of the internet just now lah tadi ya. Thank you.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your sharing. So I would like to recap on what they have said just now. First, for Miss Triani, try practicing using a fabric mask or face cover. And from Mr. Habibun is try to dispose your waste properly, such as your face mask, your clinical face mask. It's a clinical waste, so you need to throw it maybe like to the hospitals, or the worst cases to the rubbish bin, and then don't forget to join Mr. Habibun, become a member of MNS, and don't forget to use the hashtag Parks to Heal, promoted by Miss Triani. All right. That's how we are. So before we end our session today, we would like to say thank you to both Miss Triani and Mr. Habibun for making their time to be with us today. So we really appreciate it. Okay. Also,
Thank
a
you.
huge thank you to all the audience who joined our webinar today and making it successful. Once again, audience are advised to fill in the attendance Google form provided in the comment section, because we will receive we will need your feedback for today's webinar. So, to end our webinar for today, let's sing UiTM di Hatiku song.
Wah, rindunya.
Wah, lama ni. datang ke sini ingin mempelajari rahsia ilmu bumi dengan cara fikir. Tunjukkan aku jalan yang benar destinasi cita-cita negara dan bangsaku. Maju maju negara saja yang mana yang ku miliki tentu semati hati janji bukan dapat diri untuk berbagi bersatu dalam sekilas hati membela
For that, before that, we would like to take a photography session. Yeah. Can everyone smile first? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Done. Thank you so much for coming today. For
Thank you
joining
for
us.
your time.
Thank you, Miss Rani. Thank you, Encik Habibur.
Sama-sama.
Can I leave now?
Yes.
Yes.
Ini saya Joy MNS. Bye-bye.
Alright, take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Salam.
Salam.
Kepada penonton, audience yang datang tadi boleh minta isi Google Form attendance yang dah dipin dekat comment section YouTube. Jangan lupa isi Google Form.